Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Sennett. I am the CEO and founder of Mighty Mom, and welcome to your video about how to modify for exercise. Now, we have so many different exercise abilities, so many different postpartum recoveries. We have pregnant people taking our programs. That means that not every exercise is right for every person. There are so many different modifications, there are so many different progressions. No matter where you are in your recovery or workout journey, we wanna make sure that the exercise, the workouts that you're actually doing are not only as challenging as they can be, but fit where you are in your journey, right? If you are a new mother, just 6 to 8 weeks postpartum, no matter vaginal or cesarean, you are going to do things differently than someone who has been exercising for, months and months and months. Your baby is a year old or 18 months. But there's so many different, variables with our exercise. I really want to take this time now to talk about some of the most common modifications and exactly what we're looking out for when you're in your workouts. Now, if you're, a private client, your coach might have written out exact modifications. If you're doing one of our group programs, we have given you as many tools as possible to modify on your own. So giving you a choice of modifying exercises. But again, sometimes we run into something that just doesn't feel right in your body. So I want to empower you by watching this video to change things as necessary. So the first question we need to kind of go over is why? Why do we need to modify, right? As I've already stated, our core muscles can be compromised in pregnancy, right? Or in postpartum, right? And so while we're still strengthening our muscles, strengthening our core systems, some things just might be that much harder, that much more difficult to do. But also there's a lot of pressure, right? When we're lifting something heavy or we're in a certain position, there's a lot of pressure on a weakened core system, right? So here are some signs and symptoms that we are really watching out for when we're doing our workouts that might signify that there's some issues going on. So if we feel back pain, if we feel pressure anywhere, so pressure out the pelvic floor, sometimes that can feel like heaviness. Sometimes that can feel like, a tampon falling out. We hear a lot of women describe it as that way. Our pressure out the front of the abdominal wall, that is a definition of diastasis. Sometimes our rectus abdominis, the linea alba, the connective tissue is weakened, so we see doming or combing. That's a sign and symptom of pressure, right? We're also looking out for pain. Pain anywhere. Pain is your body's way of saying, hey, hold up, listen for a second. So pelvic pain. Sometimes that can translate into stinging, burning, any type of painful sensation. So pelvic pain, back pain, knee pain, hip pain. Sometimes we get abdominal pain when we have a diastasis. Any sort of pain anywhere in our pelvic, lower lumbar region can be a sign that our muscles aren't necessarily strong enough yet, or maybe there's too much tension, maybe there's a coordination issue. If you're feeling any of those things, I would highly recommend seeing getting assessed by a pelvic floor physio or working with a fitness professional like Mighty Mom to kind of help you work through those things to know exactly what's going on. But in the moment, you're in your exercise, you're feeling any one of these symptoms, what do? Some of the most common things that we come across is plank position, right? So any type of push-up position, you're on the ground, right? We're doing push-ups here, we're doing mountain climbers here, we're getting back pain, we're getting pressure at the abdominal wall, any sort of symptom I just mentioned. The most common way to modify this is to elevate it off the ground so that we're kind of alleviating some of the pressure from having to hold our own body weight up. So I have a bench here. This is the next best thing, the highest height, right? So I would go to a bench here. So maybe I feel more comfortable at a higher angle. And maybe, you're at your home, you can modify to a table, the couch arm. And then finally, some of our pregnant clients, we go all the way to like a push-up or a modifier or a mountain climber on the wall, right? So this is the number one way we can modify plank positions that will be most effective, right? Another way that we modify is just kind of reducing our range of motion. So let's say going down to the lowest bottom range of motion of a squat puts a lot of heaviness on our pelvic floor. We don't want to kind of push through symptoms. We want to go right to them and then back up again. So maybe we reduce the range of motion, right? And then obviously for cardio exercises, an example would be skaters, right? So maybe this leaping side to side gives us some sort of feeling in our pelvic floor, right? We kind of want to take the impact out and maybe want to step it out. So we want to go low impact, low pressure, right? The last thing that we see a lot of in terms of core work is this V-sit position, right? We have Russian twist, we have V-sit abdominal twist. Sometimes the lower we go back, the more pressure on our system. I'll turn this way so you can see a little bit more. Obviously, we just want to reduce the angle. Just like we're reducing the angle in our plank position, we're reducing the angle in our V-sit position as well. So you want to come up a little bit higher. And I always give the cue, go back until you feel something going on. So even if it's here, I feel something, right? But if I'm seeing doming or coning, if I'm super low, then obviously that's not necessarily going to work for me, okay? So these are some of the most common modifications that we see in some of our programs. Even if you're taking a class elsewhere and it's not with us, I want you to feel empowered to modify and progress exercises as necessary and go at the pace that makes sense for you. And if you listen to your body and you progress and do a little bit more over time, you will reach all of your fitness goals. All the push-ups, all the lifting heavy, all the jumps, all the running, all the things you need. You just have to listen as you go. And just because you try one thing one week and you get symptoms doesn't mean you're necessarily going to feel it the next week. So always do a little bit more. If you have to pull it back, you can, and then you progress as needed. This is how we do it with our private clients. This is how we do it in our programs. And I want you guys to feel empowered to do that for yourselves too, all right? So I hope this was helpful. I hope you can use these tools to take into your workouts with Mighty Mom and feel that much more confident about movement. All right, you guys, have a great day and I'll see you again soon.